say that yesterday was hard would be an understatement. Today's not much easier. But anyway, and all everything going on, I decided, I'd go out yesterday and water. And as I stepped down these stairs here and walked over here to the beginning of the trail, it's like someone just tapped me on the shoulder. So I turned to look. Another drop hit me on the head, and I looked up and I could just see this whole sheet of rain coming down. And I slowly walked back over to the stairs. And as soon as I got under cover, it just poured down. Sometimes your friends got a big enough ego, they just want you to think about them. And that just makes me laugh. Because it's a good memory. My whole life, people have been telling me what can't be done. I'll never do it. But these things, these thoughts, these dreams of mine will never come to fruition. And I just keep digging. My friend, after I finished one show, I told him I was gonna shave my hair off. It was baseball season, I used to spring training, cut it off every year, and well, like everybody else, he just didn't believe me. And when I told him that I was gonna, after about 10 years of being in Florida, move back, well, he said what everybody else said. I don't believe you. People said the same thing when I moved down to Florida. But about 5 or 6 years later, when I really needed a theater, well, I didn't hesitate to let my friend know. After all the times of not believing me, maybe he learned over the years that the crazy things that I said were actually probably going to happen because I'm just that stubborn, And so most everybody just sees this empty pit and this big old tree that's hanging way over the garden. But next year, all this stuff here, well, actually this fall, it's all going to be gone. I'm going to clear it out so the workers can trim the line and, not have all this stuff in their way because, well, they'll probably trample on it. So by the end of the fall, when I've given everybody their haircuts and put everything to bed, this will be kind of like a desert over here for a while. After the many years that my patient neighbors have watched, well, they know the drill, and I think, like my friend, they just kind of shake their head and smile at my stubbornness. And I think now they see some of the picture that I can see in my head and my heart. All we can do as caretakers is keep tilling the soil and working the land. And eventually, usually after you've forgotten all about it, your eyes suddenly open. You see the landscape forever changed. It sure was nice to have a break from watering yesterday. And I know my friends won't be surprised at all when next year at this time, there's a nice little reflection. And Buddha looking out over it. But I'll keep tilling the earth here until I can't till it anymore. And maybe after me, someone will come along and they'll continue the work. I don't know, folks. I just don't know sometimes. But that's okay. My friend, every night I'd see him make a curtain speech. he'd have some kind of intent, and some nights he'd tell me how much money he was gonna make. And I went out and, you know, probably just like him with me, I just kind of shake my head and laugh because, well, because I knew by the end of that curtain speech, when he came backstage, he'd have some money in his hand. And that's what runs nonprofit, folks like that. Keeping the doors open when everybody else is just standing around shaking their heads, wondering how the hell you did that. But all it is it's on the earth. Being a caretaker. Even when everyone else, especially when everyone else says it can't be done. Now, I suppose I could have gotten a bobcat in here and had this all dug out in a day. Instead, I took Shell's grandfather's shovel. And I used my stubbornness. And now, at least on this property, there's beauty all around me. Thank you, friend. I'll keep tilling the soil. We're the caretakers now. I don't know where energy goes, what happens to it. I'd like to think like these plants this fall, they're just all gonna shuffle around. I'm gonna split and transfer them, put them in different places and different arrangements. And there'll be an empty space over there for a long time. A long time. And we'll say, remember when? Remember when it used to be empty over there? And out of nothing came something so great. Energy's funny like that. I think it just keeps going. When I think of my friend, well, I don't think of an empty seed or an empty space. I just think of a shifting of energy. The energy's still there, it just may be interacting with the universe in a different way. So next year, pal, there'll be a nice reflection pond here, and we'll go overlooking at where that drain spout is. But right now, it's kinda sorta nothing.